You just completed the tutorial, but now what do you do? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you around, share a couple of things with you where you can go from here. But first, we probably need to gear up. We've got started gear on, and we will probably die very quickly with it. If you open up your multi-class by hitting F1, you should see here at the bottom, at the left hand corner, about 40 to 90,000, depending on if you use a referral. You'll get about 40,000 for completing the tutorial and another 50,000 if you used somebody's referral link or code. I'll put mine on the screen here. If you haven't already, I think you get about 24 hours to put in one, so do it if you haven't already. But this will give us a good amount of money to gear up very early on. So before we do anything, let's go gear up, get a good weapon and get some really good armor so that we can move forward and complete really good missions. You'll probably be at the station just like this. Currently I am at Everest Harbor. I'm just going to show you how to buy gear because you're probably brand new, but you just want to run forward until you find an elevator just like this. We're going to say use. And then once inside, we're going to go to the Galleria. Now here you need to look for an armor shop. They can be at different locations depending on the station. But it usually looks just like this, where there's a lot of mannequins with armor on. Let's buy a heavy armor set. So here I usually just like to type in Mazarov, because this is probably one of the best sets at the moment. Very easy to equip and very cheap. I'm first going to go with a helmet. Here we go. Our helmet. I'm going to go with the cheapest option just because we want to save money, right? That's about 8,000. Buying our helmet. Now, let's go for the torso. Also going to choose the cheapest version, 9,500. Next up, the arms. Going to choose the cheapest version again. Then legs, about 4,000. And finally, for the backpack, 2,400. Now that we have our armor set, let's buy a weapon as well. I'm just going to go all categories, clear the search bar. Choose personal weapon. I usually like to start off with the P4. It's very cheap and the ammo is plentiful. So I usually go with a P4 AR. And we also want to buy some mags. The P4 mags. I'm going to buy about 6. Okay, we've bought everything that we need. We only need a tractor beam now. So let's go over to the cargo center here. Back to the elevators. Then go to the cargo center. Once here, we want to make our way up and head over to the terminal here. Here you can see logistics, and just next to it is our little terminal. We just type in tool, buy, and then we also want to type in beam, since we need the tractor beam attachment. Also buy this. Now that we have everything, let's go equip. I'm just going to run all the way back here to the terminal. Here we go. We can access our inventory here. Once you open it, you can just double click on your new armor. You should be able to equip everything quite easily. Once you have your backpack equipped, double click your gun, right click your mags and say equip all, and then finally our tractor beam, double click the tool and then also the attachment. We're all geared up. Now we just need to set our spawn. So in order to do that, we're going to go back to the elevators here and head over to the hospital. So elevators. Gonna go back to hangar and habs. Once you exit the elevator, you're going to look for a clinic. We're gonna go in here and set our spawn first before we start with our mission. Here we go. Here 1. Just say transfer imprint. Hit OK. Now that we have set our spawn, whenever we die, we will spawn here. Plus we will keep our gear. Also make sure we buy a healing tool. So just say use. And we can buy ourselves a healing tool. Just 1,500. Let's go equip it by going to these terminals. the use, double click, and we're all good to go. Now we can head back to the terminals here, and then we can start seeing what we can do in the verse. Now that we're all geared up, we can start doing our first mission. Our gear cost us 35,000 for a complete set. But to get started, the first thing I would recommend is the new Onyx facilities. To get there, you can just open up your Mobiglass, go to contracts. Under investigation, you should find your first mission here. It will provide you with 19,000, but you can get a bunch of guns there and really cool looking armor. So I would definitely recommend it. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of these facilities just to show you how they look, and then we'll continue on to the next thing that you can do. I'm just going to hit accept here. Let's go to our little ship. You should be able to call it on these terminals. For my starter ship, I'm going to go with the Avenger Titan here, just to show you that it's very good. Here we go. Let's go to our hangar. Here's our ship. I'm going to head over to the mission marker here to show you what you can get up to at the Onyx facilities. I won't be spoiling any story. I'm just going to show you what's there. Here we go. I'm jumping to the planet first. Now, the first investigation mission, you can't jump to it. You will need to fly to it. So let's find a close spot nearby. I'm just going to open up my map here with F2. Zoom in a little bit, double click it. And let's see if we can find a very close spot. I think this one should be able to get us decently there. The reason why I'm choosing investigation missions as your first type of gameplay loop, it's because it has a story attached to it. So it's very easy to follow, making it very good to find your feet. Let's get a bit closer to the marker here. We're at the Onyx facility. Now we just need to press Alt N, land in a hangar, and we can start our journey towards the mission. Manage to land. Before we do anything, I quickly want to teach you how to heal. Since you're probably pretty new, this is a very important part of the game. In these facilities, you will need to do a lot of combat, and eventually you will need to heal. So just for in case, I want to quickly teach you. In order to heal, we did buy a med gun, didn't we? So you can press number 3. And then, after taking damage, you can hit B. And just left click to heal yourself. And then press B again. And choose your weapon by hitting number 1. So that's the basics of it. Let me show you some of the combat in these facilities. You will basically take an elevator here on the left, where you can go up. We can do a couple of things here. Here we go, we're out of the elevator. Now this facility has 2 wings. It has the research wing and the engineering wing. At the moment, we need to head over to engineering. This is going to be a very quick mission. I just want to show you the intro mission so that you can follow along and continue on with the investigation as you complete them. Let's go to engineering. We managed to make it to the engineering wing. Then we just quickly complete it. All that you need to do is just follow the marker. And you do need to be careful. There will be enemies like this. You need to shoot. So it's some FPS combat. It will teach you how to loot, how to reload, and how to heal. As you can see, if you say loot, you can take their guns. You can sell this at shops as well. But at the moment, I'm not gonna bother. Here's another guy. Here you can see it has med pens. So you can just loot those. You press tab. You can also loot their armor if you want to. But we already have a full set. But here's the terminal that we can use to complete our mission. Just say download. Here we go. Now we need to navigate back to the lobby. Just take the elevator back here. We're back at the lobby here. The mission did update. We need to go to the research wing via the lobby. So this is the lobby. You can see here's the research wing. Now we can just head over to this door and continue on with the mission. But I'm going to head back to the station so that we can do a couple of other gameplay loops as well to show you the game. Now that you know how to get started with some FPS missions, let's do ship combat missions. So to get started, we're going to hit F1 again, go to contracts. Under contracts, there's a couple of ways get started with ship combat missions, you can either do bounty hunting, where you need to pay a fee, but these have been nerfed by quite a bit. You won't gain as much money. I would rather recommend mercenary missions, where there's a bunch of them, but to just get started and get the hang of things, we can start with Combat Gauntlet Scenario 1 here. This is a mission which will upgrade as you do it. For example, let's say you complete number 1, then you'll move on to number 2 and all the way up. Each time it will get more difficult. So let's take the first one just so that I can show you. There should be a little guy talking to you as well, which is called Gilly. Here you can see in the corner, he will start speaking to you, but I'm going to head over to the mission. Here we go, we're at our mission location. Let's see what types of ships we are going to get. Let's see, it should be little starter ships, but you never know. So the first one here is a cutter. Very easy ship to fight. I'm just going to target with T. This is not exactly a tutorial on how to fight. I already made one recently. You can follow that along if you want to get started. This is more to show you what's available and what you can do for now, just to get you started. We managed to kill the ship. Now we can take on the next one. This will give you a pretty decent income as well, especially the number 6 one. You can do over and over again to grind for some money. But recently they did introduce a system where you need to wait for missions for about an hour. So after completing them, you might have to wait a little bit to do it again. But you can gain a very good money by completing these and then rent a ship to do even better things with. Here is the final ship, I believe. This is a little Miss Prospector. Very tanky, but we should be able to kill it. It doesn't have the biggest weapons. It's actually a mining ship. You can rent the ship and go mine, which you can do, but it's not super profitable at the moment. Let me just kill this thing quickly here. There we go. So not the most difficult mission. Very easy. And it will teach you a couple of things, how to fly and so forth. They're very good for beginners just to get started. Now, if we open up our Mobiglass with F1, go to Contracts, Offers, there should pop up a new one. You can see here, Scenario 2. Now we can just take this one and continue on. But I'm going to head back to the station. I'm going to show you how to rent the ship and then haul some cargo. We're back at the station. Now that you know how to do some FPS missions, do some ship combat, let's haul some cargo for some easy money. Hit F1 again. Go to Contracts. Now under hauling, this will give you missions to haul cargo to places. I'm going to take the entry level one here. You can see opportunity for independent cargo haulers. This one will provide us with 50,000. I can take the SEU here with my Avenger Titan, but maybe you have a smaller ship. So I'm going to show you how to rent a ship as well. I'm just going to accept this. Now that we have our mission, let's quickly go rent a ship first. In order to rent a ship, we need to go to the cargo center here. Just going to head over to the elevators again. You'll see there are yellow elevators. Here we go. Just say use, say cargo center. Here we go, we made it. I'm also going to buy a max lift. You don't have to at the moment, but I just want to show you that it is available. But first, let's rent a ship here at the rentals. I'm going to say rent. Now for the ship, you can rent a bunch of them. Let's quickly see what they have. So what I would recommend is a Mescal A. You can get this one for about 34,000 per day. Probably the best one they have at the moment here for very fast transport. So I'm going to rent this ship. They confirm. This is a mole. We don't need that one. Now let's go buy our max lift. Just going to say use. Now some of these things are very expensive. I assume you probably did a couple of missions by now and you got a bit of cash. With a max lift 19,000. Let's buy this. This will make moving boxes a little bit easier, but we do have our small tractor beam if you can't afford that one. I'm just going to head over to the terminal here to equip my max lift as well. Here we go. Just double click it. It will equip to our backpack. Now let's go back to our hangar. Since our mission should spawn right here at Everest Harbor where we need to load the cargo. So hangar and habs, let's spawn our ship from the terminal. Here you can see Mescal A, 23 hours, well actually 24, let's say deliver and retrieve. Let's go to the elevator here and make our way over. Here's our brand new ship. In order to hold cargo with it, we need to first enter it and open up its spindles. I'm just going to say use ladder, or at the bottom here we can say enter. Nice. Go to the cockpit here. Enter the seat. Now that we're in the seat, hold in F and click this button here on the left hand side. It should open up our spindles so that we can load it with cargo. Here you can see it's open. Now we can leave our ship and bring the cargo up the elevator. Here you can see is the elevator. We're going to use this terminal to bring the mission cargo up. So first send it down. Now up here is all the cargo. Just drag it to the left and send it up again. Now we can take out our tractor beam by hitting 5. This is our original smaller one. You can just click on the cargo. You can use scroll wheel to go back and forth, or you can hold in R and use scroll wheel to rotate the cargo. And if you pull your mouse back and forth, you can also rotate it while holding R. But for now, we can just go here and put the cargo on the grid. You can also use your max lift if you want to. By hitting your number keys, you can select it. I hit number 2 here to get to mine. This one has a bit further range and more lifting power, so you don't have to run as close. This is why I bought it. But at the start, you don't really need it, so you can save up for this. You won't be able to lose it when you die either. So very nice, a very good investment. But I'm quickly going to load everything, and then we can make our way over to the distribution center to deliver. Here is our last box. Obviously, you want to do multiple of these missions once you complete the first intro mission in order to be profitable. Since I believe we only get 50k for this mission, but the ship cost us about 34,000. So we're not going to make that much profit. We're still going to be profitable. But obviously you're going to have to rent this again tomorrow or after 24 hours. So make sure you make use of it while you have it. Eventually you should be able to buy it outright or any ship you want. But let's head over to our deliver location. Here we go, we're at the distribution center. Here you can deliver at 2 locations. You can either land in the hangar by pressing Alt N, calling the hangar and landing there. Or you can land outside and just deliver the boxes to an elevator. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to land outside here. You'll see here at the back is pads. Well, on the sides. Just get a little bit closer. Take out my landing gear. And on my shields. Just at the bottom here is elevators that you can put your cargo in. Just make sure that you don't hit the top here. Usually some people land on the pads, but our ship is small enough to be able to fit in here so that we can unload. Just gonna get it in here. There we go. Hopefully we didn't hit anything. Now we can turn off our engines with I and get out. Once here it's a little bit rainy, but we can take out our tractor beam and load the cargo onto the elevator. The elevator is not up. You can just go to the terminal and call it so that you can load. But I'm going to unload my ship here. And then we'll see how to send down the cargo. Here is our last box. Be very careful. Do not hit any NPCs with them, since they might turn hostile once you damage them. But let's go to the terminal here and send it down. Looks like there's a human on the platform. You can see the NPC. I guess we need to wait for them to leave. Okay, let's see if we can do it now. There we go. Here's all our cargo. A little bit rainy, difficult to see. But here's our mission. Send it down. It should close. Just gonna wipe my visor with Alt X. And there we go. We completed our mission. Now we should get access to even more cargo hauling missions. Just F1, contracts, offers, hauling. We have the red one here that you can do, but eventually you should unlock a little bit more of them. You can see here at the bottom, very difficult to see. Let me just get to my ship and show you, since the rain is obstructing our view. There we go, safe inside. Now I can show you. Go to contracts, and here is hauling grade 1. Now you can stack these together. I do have a detailed video showing you how to do this. So very nice. You can make quite a bit of money with this. But that's basically 3 things you can easily do in Star Citizen. Obviously, there's way more things you can do. You can salvage, you can mine, you can go player bounty hunting, and a lot of other locations that you can also do. But I hope this video was helpful to get you started. If it was, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.